Hi, thanks for joining us today for this segment of Get That House. My name is Barbara Irwin and I'm with LVNV Homes and Land. And my co-host is...
My name is Brian Holland. I represent Old Republic Title Company as a sales manager. And welcome to another segment of Get That House.
And today we have a guest, and this is Eric. And Eric, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, your company, how people can reach you, and what you do?
My name is Eric from Alvey Pool and Repair. I am the field manager for operations. My number is area code 909-282-8744. If you have any questions regarding pool service, pool repairs, or just have your equipment inspected or your water tested, you can contact me and come and take a look at your house, see if there's anything that I recommend, maybe possibly sign you up for pool service. Just give me a call at any time and or shoot me a text, and I'll be more than willing to come out and take a look at your house.
So let's just start by asking you some questions. So what is the biggest issue you see with pools when someone just buys a home?
One of the biggest issues that people have with pools is they just don't know how to operate them. They don't know how to maintain them. They don't know how to clean them. They basically don't know anything. They want a pool, but they just don't know what is required. And so that's where we come in. We come along. We introduce them to how to operate their equipment, how to test their water, how to clean their pool, and then let them make the determination if they want to just pay us to service the pool and help them along the way. Especially in these Las Vegas temperatures where the crucial heat does not show any mercy towards the water, and a pool can turn green within 24 to 48 hours if it isn't being maintained properly.
Wow, that's true. So what is the difference between liquid chlorine and the tablets?
Well, liquid chlorine, it's kind of like a booster. It'll boost up the water chlorine, but it also it doesn't hold long. It's like a good for like a day or two. Tablets are like a sustainer. They're chlorine as well, but they stabilize the chlorine levels over throughout the period of a week. So if you're putting liquid chlorine in your pool, you'd have to do it like every other day, every 2 or 3 days, where the tablets will actually sustain the chlorine levels. So where a lot of people struggle is they think, oh, well, I put tablets in my floater, and why isn't my chlorine level going up? Well, they're a stabilizer. You need to shock the pool with either liquid chlorine or shock to increase the chlorine levels, and then the tablets sustain the chlorine levels.
Okay.
So there's a lot of chemistry that's involved in maintaining a pool, especially out here in Las Vegas. It gets real tricky.
So I should probably not try and maintain pools.
Leave it to the professionals, Barbara. Leave it to the
Leave it to the professionals. So Eric actually does my pool. And so you recommend having service once a week.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about what a standard service would be, what people should do once a week.
Once a week, they need to empty their baskets. They have a skimmer basket. They have a pump basket. They need to test their waters once a week. Make sure that their water levels, if they don't have an autofill to keep their pool water level up, to make sure that they manually keep their pool level up, because if the water gets too low, then the pump won't get water, and then you can burn up a motor. So there's a lot to keep an eye on while you're maintaining a pool. Even myself at my own home, my wife helps me by going out and making sure our water level stays high enough, and I do all the water chemistry and keeping the maintaining of the pool. But another big thing too that people don't realize is you have to brush your pool regularly too, otherwise you'll start getting a lot of deposits and algae and dirt, and it starts to stain the plaster. So it's really important that if you're not doing it yourself, you're paying someone to come and maintain your pool so that you get the most out of your plaster as you possibly can.
How often does somebody have to plaster their pool?
It depends on how well you take care of it. If your water chemistry isn't taken care of well, say your pH level is below a 7.0, it'll deteriorate the plaster, allow it to start chipping and just deteriorate. Low pH can also cause damage to your pool equipment, burnout seals. So really, a lot of people don't realize that your pH levels, if they're not balanced properly, can do a lot of damage to your equipment and your plaster. So it's important that you keep your pH levels balanced properly when you're maintaining a pool.
Now, in the summertime, you have to use more chlorine than in the winter?
Way more chlorine. I mean, okay. we're adding like chlorine and shocking pools weekly, and coming back the following week, and the chlorine levels will drop till it gets really, really vigorous to how much chemicals we're adding to the water in the summertime, opposed to the wintertime where we might only add chlorine once a month.
Oh, wow.
So like really like our profit margin is a lot lower in the summertime as it is during the wintertime. But that's where it balances out in the long run. So we charge competitive prices. We aren't the cheapest pool service in town, but we're not the most expensive either. But we do quality work. All my guys take before and after pictures. I'm very meticulous on making sure that everything is getting done. We have tablets that we leave blue slips to show that we're there. I run a tight ship, so quality is very important to us at LV Pool and Repair.
Very cool. Is there anything else you can tell us about maintenance of a pool that you suggest, or that say like when they run their pump, morning, afternoon, nighttime, and then filters and stuff like that?
Okay, so yes, the water chemistry is important, but also your pool pump runtime is very important. My particular pump is a 2 horsepower pump with a 4 cartridge filter system. I'm moving a lot of water through my equipment, so I'm moving approximately 90 gallons of water per minute. So my pool is about a 12,000 gallon pool, so it's flipping over about 52 to 60,000 gallons in throughout the day. So that is crucial in this heat. Is you don't just want to run your pool 2 or 3 hours. A lot of times the rule of thumb, if you call any kind of pool supply store, is run your pool for 1 hour for every 10 degrees. So if you have a 100-degree temperature, you want to run your pool about 10 hours. Now, if you have a small pool with big equipment, you can actually get away with running it like 6 to 8 hours. There are some pool pumps and pool filters that are too small for the size pools that they have, and so what ends up happening is I have some pools, I didn't want to say nothing, I have some pools that are like really, really huge with little tiny pumps and little small cartridges where I'm running them 14, 15 hours a day just to keep algae from growing in the pool. So there's a lot of variables, and so that's what makes us stand out is like we try to dial it into where we're running your pool equipment the allotted amount of time based off the size of the pool and the size of your equipment based off the temperature. So there's some pools I'm only running 6 to 8 hours, because their equipment is just so huge and their pools are so small. So I call them little dipper pools, 6,000 gallon pools. But I mean, there's a lot of science to it. It's not just we just drop chlorine and we just drop our hose and then roll out. But we really, really, really try to maintain the pool as properly, based off of what we're dealing with. So every pool is different.
And you had told me that vegetation around a pool actually makes a difference.
Yes, what vegetation does is when the leaves fall into the water, they discharge phosphates. And when your phosphates level get real high, no matter how well you balance the chemicals, you're still going to get algae. And so you have to test for phosphates when you have a pool that has a lot of vegetation, which when you first moved into your house, you had a lot of vegetation, which you've removed a lot of it, which you've actually helped the body of water that you have to keep those phosphate levels from going up. So phosphate levels are crucial to keep down. If you can't get a hold of your phosphate levels, no matter how well you try to maintain your pool or run your equipment, you're always going to have algae issues. And so that's where the phosphate remover comes in and you get them out.
Now, how often do you have to drain a pool?
Typically, it depends on how much you use the pool, because you have a thing called total dissolved solubles, and total dissolved solubles are like the suntan lotions on your skin that get in the water, bodily fluids, just there's a lot of things that get in the water when people use the pool. So I mean, I have pools where they have a lot of children, and those I recommend every 2 years. If you're an elderly couple that don't really use your pool, you could get 5, 6, 7 years without having to drain your pool. It just depends on how much it's being used.
Okay, very good. So why don't you tell us again how people can get a hold of you?
Okay, if you need to get a hold of me, you can email me at lvpoolandrepair@gmail.com, or you can contact me at area code 909-282-8744. You can call me, leave me a voicemail, or shoot me a text, and I'll be glad to help you with whatever you may need regarding your pool service or repairs.
Thank you very much. And my name is Barbara Irwin. I'm with LVNV Homes and Land. You can reach me at 702-235-9298.
Brian Holland, Old Republic Title, 702-985-2222.
And we'll see you back in the second segment.